Podcast. My name is Simeon Daniel, and with me here is Mr. Gabriel Edith, bringing to you a very exciting session on the King's Empire Podcast. We bring up ideas that change your mindsets, change your being, and change the world at large. Mr. Gabriel, we are so happy to have you in the set today. Today we have a very exciting topic we are going to dwell on. Selflessness, not selfishness, makes a better society. I come again. Selflessness, not selfishness, makes a better society. Mr. Gabriel, with the depth of this topic, I mean there's a lot to it.
There's a lot to this topic, and we are going to be sharing life-changing, educating, and entertaining ideas. So you sit down, buckle your seatbelt, and get ready for the ride. We're going to be looking at selflessness, selfishness. Selflessness has to do with thinking of others than yourself. When you place yourself in the shoes of others, when you do share pains, problems, sorrows of persons, the other way around, you're looking at selfishness as placing yourself first before you look at others. So when we are trying to look at the definition here, selfishness is really bad for a growing society.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Gabriel. From what he has said, we've known that selflessness is placing others first before yourself, and selfishness is placing self-interest as a standard for decision making. So, Mr. Gabriel, what are the major causes of this selfishness?
There are a lot of causes for selfishness in a person and even in a society.
Wow.
Now, one of the causes is bad influence. Now, there's this saying that goes, show me your friend and I will tell you
who you are.
Yes, who you are. When you are constantly around a person who is selfish, you are prone to be selfish. When you associate, you socialize with the selfish persons, they will instill these selfish ideas into you. They will show you how to go around getting rich without really helping others, without really thinking about others. So you see, bad influence can cause selfishness in a person. When you are always around, always absorbing their selfish ideas, you will in the long run become very selfish.
Very well, I like that point, Mr. Gabriel. I think another major cause is jealousy. You know, when you're jealous, when you're envious about another person's progress, you become selfish. Now, in a company, like an example, a company, a very short setting. Now, a person comes into the company, he works very hard. Now, the person who is his leader or his manager at that point sees him as a threat to his position. He now feels this person that is working very hard is going to take his place. Now, he tries all his best to bring down the person. He tries all his best to make sure the person doesn't succeed in the company. You see, but meanwhile, another person should be seeing that as a growth for the company. Should be seeing the person's hard work as progress. Now, he sees it as a trait. Now, your neighbor buys a car, you're jealous about the car. You go extra miles to even make sure the car spoils so that it doesn't drive. That's witchcraft. You know, jealousy is a major cause of selfishness. Yeah,
I agree with you, totally. Another point we have to bring to the floor here is bad upbringing. You see, there is this thing mothers do that. Sometimes I find about it. You know, when you see your child or your children, trying to put up these selfish attributes, exhibit these characteristics, it is the pleas of the mother or the parent to make sure that they got the dream is out of selfishness in their children. Let me create an instance. So you can give the child a biscuit or any other food the child will fancies. And then you tell the child, please give back that biscuit. Hides that. The child is not thinking of, he's thinking of himself. And so that's very bad. So parents should try to dream this out of selfishness in their children.
Yeah, I think greed is another factor. You know, when you're greedy, you need more than you deserve. You know, someone who is greedy never wants another person to have more. Now, for instance, a person who is greedy will always want to take more than he deserves. In a setting of siblings, now a brother and a sister, you're given something and you decide to give it today to use. Now you see, so in some cases the mother will be like, give your brother the big share. He's your brother, you should take bigger. And now the brother wakes up with this mindset that he should be taking bigger. He grows up to become someone who wants to take bigger. He's given responsibility to share things, maybe for palliatives or whatever. He wants to take more. He wants to take everything. You understand? Because the mother, the parent have installed this mindset that he should be taking bigger. And this greed factor brings a lot of problems. You know, this is very bad.
It doesn't make the society to grow at all. Another problem we're going to be looking at, another cause of selfishness we're going to be looking at here is lack of sympathy and empathy. When we're talking about empathy, it is to yourself in the shoes of others. Getting to know how is this pain, where is the how is this shoe pinching them? You understand? And so when a person is not really putting himself in the shoes of others, you're not placing yourself in the position of that person, it will be really difficult for you to be selfless.
Yes, very.
Yes. Let me buttress that point more. You see, you find it difficult to help a person when you don't know how painful the situation that person is really. No, so lack of empathy and sympathy can cause selfishness.
I think another major cause is poverty mindset. You know, when you wake up with this mindset that you should not be giving. Now, for instance, I went to a boarding school, Mr. Gabriel. In school like this, you see a person who comes to school and is telling you, my mother said I shouldn't give people my thing. My mother said I should not give so that it will not finish. Now, your mother said you should not give anybody your toothpaste. Your mother said you should not give anybody your soap. Now, when your toothpaste and your soap finish, you ask somebody. Is that not a poverty mindset? You feel it will finish. And at last, normally everything will finish. Nothing lasts forever. So when you're stingy, you've given this child a poverty mindset that you shouldn't be giving, you should be receiving. The child doesn't give. Now you beg, oh please, just give me small toothpaste. Maybe you're unexhausted. So let me use yours this morning. I'll buy in the canteen later. Person is like, no, my mother said I should not give. Now when he's don't finish, he's the first person to wake you up in the morning. And it's like, Gabriel, please can you give me toothpaste? And you remember you asked him and he didn't give you. But if you want to follow that, you also not give him. You see, this poverty mindset is a major cause of selfishness.
I totally agree with you, Mr. Simon. Another point we have to look at here is love for superior concept.
Yes.
You see, I grew up to hear elderly person say, don't give your thing to that woman. She's a witch. They'll be armed in return for whatever you're giving. And so this concept is breeding selfishness, not selflessness in person. And so you notice that this woman even needs that thing more than you need, but you can't give it out to this woman because you are scared of being armed, you are scared of being a lot of things happening. And so where is this mindset coming from? From the elderly ones.
Another thing is ingratitude. Now, if you give something and you're not appreciated, it makes people selfish. If you come to my house the first day, I give you water. You come the next day, I still give you water. But you don't appreciate the water I give to you. I'm a human being. At some point, I'll tell you, don't come to my house again, I'm not giving you the water again. You know, sometimes people are not naturally selfish, but some things cause them to be selfish. So, for instance, in this case, I'm giving you water, you're not appreciating. Ingratitude. It causes selfishness. So that's a major cause too. Do you have any other points for us, Mr. Gay? Okay, I think let me add one more thing. I think another major cause of selfishness is old mental programming. Now, you grew up in a family where you see everybody is not giving. Now your dad is like, these people ask too much, people like begging, don't give. Now you're creating a mindset for that kid. Now, for instance, let me bring up a story. Now we know a flea. A flea is a small insect. The flea jumps 36 inches vertical. Now, this flea has a natural potential. It is born with that potential of jumping 36 inches vertical. Now, if you pick up that flea, put it in this cup. For instance, there was no water. Put it in this cup and you cover it. The flea will jump. It will hit. Come down. It will jump again. Hit. At some point, it will now jump. It will reach the top again. Now it has adjusted to the environment. Now when it jumps, it doesn't reach the top. It goes down. Now put in more fleas and cover. They do the same thing. Now these fleas don't jump again when they notice that there is a lid at the top of this container. They now jump close. Then they don't reach the top again. They go down. Now they give birth to other fleas now. These fleas that are giving birth to, see, my mom doesn't jump over this thing. My dad doesn't jump over this thing. My siblings, everybody don't jump at the end of this thing. Now we have that mindset. Now you born a child, you give birth to a child rather, into an environment where the child sees you don't give, your husband don't give. Now the siblings don't give. The child is it's a mental program.
Yes.
Now the child is born with this mentality that they don't give.
They don't give. Actually.
He doesn't want to give. He wants to receive. You understand? It has been accustomed in his mind that every time I should be receiving, I shouldn't be giving. Now he knows, should I give you? He doesn't know, can you give me?
Yeah, that's the truth.
You understand?
Yeah.
This is a very bad mentality.
Very
so
bad.
all mental programming is a major cause of selfishness. So Mr. Gabriel, we've discussed about the major causes of selfishness. So what are the consequences? What are the problems that come up when you're selfish?
Bad.
I think we should treat on 3 major consequences.
Number one is limited source of help. Look, a selfish person will always not have a lot of help. Why? Because it gets bad when you are really so popular among persons around you. That's your immediate environment. People will not be willing to help. No, this selfishness is really a bad thing. You don't say popular, it's notorious. You become notorious for your selfishness. So a selfish person doesn't get others to share in his sorrow, in his pains, in his problems, because he has not or she has not been sharing in the pains, sorrow, and problems of person. So there's this law of karma that says do to others. No, there's this thing that says there's this law, do to others as you want to others to do. And so that is just what is happening. If you don't share the problems of others, people can share your problems.
Another major cause is bad relationship. Now, it makes you have a bad relationship with people. When you're a selfish person, I don't associate with you. I know if we have a business deal now, Mr. Gabriel, and you're a selfish person, sorry for using that, you're a selfish person, at the end of the day, you can't betray me. You can seek to take everything for yourself.
That's true.
You know, it makes you have a bad relationship with people. People don't want to associate with someone who will be a betrayer. People don't want to associate with someone who's going to be a selfish person at the end of the day. So it brings bad relationship.
Another point we have to look at is this bad personality concept the person is, portraying for himself. The selfish person is not known as a good person.
Yes.
Nobody wants to do business with you. Nobody wants to recommend you.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to do anything that has to do with you, because they know at the end of the day, all you will be thinking of is yourself. Yeah. At the end of the day, you will want to get all the gains, all the results, want to claim all the glory to yourself. And so
people like that, they don't even work. At the end of the day, they want to claim the
yes,
glory.
and that is what I'm talking about here. So you have a bad personality concept for yourself. They always say a good name is better than durable riches. So if you want to have a good name, be selfless. If you want to have a bad name, be selfish.
Selfish people, they just want the success. They don't want to work for it. They just want the success for themselves. Now, there's this saying that don't be a man of success, but rather be a man of value. Now, someone who gives offers value. Now, someone needs help, you offer value, you offer help to the person. Now, I think another major cause is that another major consequence is rather when you're a selfish person, you are greedy at all times. You want more than you deserve. You want more into other person's possession. Now, you're not trusted. As a selfish person, you're greedy and you're not trusted.
You can't be trusted.
And this makes you you become a liability to the society.
And that's what we are discussing.
That's a consequence.
Another consequence we have to look at is hatred and bitterness from people. Like I was trying to cite an instance. Someone is really thirsty, and then the person comes to you to get water, and the person knows very well, probably from some secret information, that you have a pot of water in the house, and this person is so genuinely thirsty and comes to you, please, just one glass of water. You don't give it to the person. If the person leaves, it is bitterness and hatred that will be in the mind, that will be implanted in the mind of this person.
Yes.
And so you end up, any person you meet, you're selfish, you end up planting bitterness, selfishness, bitterness and hatred in the minds of this person, and it's not really good for you as a person who would want to, do a lot of things.
Yeah. I think the last consequence I have now is that when you're a selfish person, you don't have joy. It kills your inner joy, and you have sorrow. When you have an attitude of a selfish person, there's this saying that it is your attitude, not your aptitude, that determines your altitude. It's not what you know. No matter what you know, if you're a selfish person, I won't work with you, because I know you will be a betrayer. You can backstab me at any point. So your attitude matters a lot. We should learn to inculcate this selfless attitude rather than selfish. So selfishness kills your inner joy. It makes you mourn because you don't have, a selfish person, you won't tell me his conscience doesn't blame him. But he naturally wants to do that. So he doesn't feel free, he doesn't have inner joy, and he rejects getting better.
At some point, these people have their conscience.
Yeah, there's this story of a man. He fell into the pit.
Yes.
Yeah, he fell into the pit, and he has been in this pit. Nobody has removed him from this pit.
I'm telling you.
Now, one man noticed this guy has been in this pit for a long time. He went to ask the wife, why is this guy inside the pit and nobody has helped him? Because everybody that goes there tells the man, give me your hand.
Give me your hand.
And the man has been accustomed to take. So he doesn't want to give the hand. He remains in the pit. So the wife said, don't mind that man. He prefers take my hand than give me your hand. Now this man came back and said, take my hand. The man, he came out of the pit. You can imagine that kind of mentality. That's very silly.
That is what is happening in the society.
A selfish person rejects getting better. And it's very bad because it kills your inner joy. He would have stayed there and died because he doesn't want to give his hand, he wants to take. So this is a major consequence.
It's a major consequence. I've exhausted my point.
Okay, Mr. Gabriel, I'd like us to talk on something very important. Now, the consequences of selflessness. Now, if you're selfless, what are those things that stands for you?
All right, listeners, when we're talking about selflessness here, we're looking at a whole lot of good consequences.
Yes.
Yes. And one of it is good testimonies from people. Look at a person that helps a lot of persons. Anywhere you go, that person will help you. That person is good. There are a lot of recommendation in the air. There are a lot of good testimony
with this person.
I'm telling you, people are so happy to work with you. I was listening to Archbishop Idemikon the other day. He said people wanted buying more lands from him because of how selfless he has been. You know, from the testimony he was trying to relate. I could notice that he was selfless with what he was doing. He was thinking more of others, and so people were trying to key into what he was doing. Others even refused. Landowners refuse giving their lands to other persons.
Yes. They want to give to you because they see him as a reliable person.
Yes, as a reliable person.
That's nice. I think another thing is that it improves relationship. When you're a selfless person, people want to be with you, like you said. It makes people trust you, and it gives you a new perspective to life. Because if you're a selfish person, you're always deriving means of helping people. If you're a person who gives, you're deriving means of improving lives. It gives you a new perspective to give it. Now, a kind of a selfish person will be thinking of ways to give excuses why he's not giving that stuff. While a selfless person is thinking of ways to give, thinking of ways to touch the environment. He's thinking of ways he can even take my own, because he wants to give. Instead, Gabriel, how can the society grow with selflessness?
All right, to help in that, I will be reading from this what I've written down. People who help one another or who encourage selflessness are solving societal problems in the general view. Thereby, by way of solving this problem, they're making the society better.
Yeah, I think that's good. And I also have another point here. It brings about unity and it forms connection. It brings about connection. People who are in a society where people are selfless, a brother will see an opportunity, he calls a fellow brother. He's not selfish, he doesn't want to grow alone. So it brings about connection.
Selflessness makes one think of others. That's what selflessness does. And so it's if the society comprises people who think of others, then there will be no much problems.
And it brings about a progressive mindset. They are progressing, and now everyone is happy with each other. Now, if we are in a society where everyone is selfless, you're happy with me, and I'm happy with you.
Selflessness is an indispensable part of teamwork.
Yes.
And a society, we see a society in the picture of a team, and so if that team must really progress, there must be selflessness.
Yeah.
And so it helps the society to grow.
Like I said earlier, it brings about excess opportunities. The essence of selflessness in societal growth cannot be evicted.
Yeah, that's just
it is absolutely inevitable.
Yeah. I think we should take the 10 tenets from us.
Okay, no problem, Mr. Gabriel.
Let's look at the 10 tenets. We look at selflessness. Number one, selflessness brings life to the society. So when one is thinking more of others, there is this life to bring it to others. Selflessness empowers members of the society. Once we give out the money to the members of the society, we are empowering them, helping them. Selflessness is the key to societal growth. Selflessness promotes bond. Selflessness reduces societal problems and grows the strength of the society. It is the indispensable factor in a living society, the compass for any moving thing. Selflessness preserves the society. Selflessness kills limitation. Selflessness is an act. Let us improve on it.
Yeah, from what he has said, we've heard the 10 tenets of selflessness. Now we know selflessness is an essential ingredient for the growth of our society, which we should not eliminate. Now, selflessness helps a society grow, but selfishness destroys the society. Thank you for staying with us and listening to what we've said. Actually, we have something we want you to go home with. Now, Mr. Gabriel, I'd like you to give them the think factor.
Well, let's just look at 3 things we've got to think about while we are, having a meditation anyway. So, see, let's think about this. If we are lifted by lifting others, what happens if we really try to lift ourselves without asking for the assistance of others? Okay, when I'm being selfish, does any other person suffers adversely from an act of selfishness? What are the long-term consequences of selfishness? Thank you very much.
Now we've heard from what he has said. I hope our viewers, I hope you're blessed with this information. This is the King's Empire Podcast. We bring up ideas like this. We bring up things that improve your mind, your being, and the society at large. Always subscribe to these and listen because we have a lot of content to bless you.
Remember, subscribe to that YouTube channel.